You can find ice-cold refreshment right here at Parker's Kitchen. Cool off with a large fountain drink for just 99 cents. That's a huge sweet tea for less than $1 at Parker's Kitchen.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 1226 this morning.
A peek ahead at your morning, learn more about the capital project sales tax on Aiken's ballots. Get some updates from FEMA about aid and look at research into treatment for fentanyl overdoses. But first, here's a live look at downtown Augusta this morning. Lots of light out there as we wait for the sunrise to come up. But good morning, I'm Audrey Dickerber. We're so glad that you're joining us this morning. And man, Chris, I know we keep talking about it, but October has really flown by. It feels like it's going to be Thanksgiving and then Christmas all over again, but our weather is not really feeling like fall to me.
Certainly didn't yesterday. 88 the high temperature on Saturday, but a little cool front moved through overnight, and that's going to have something to say about your Sunday forecast. Let's take a look at our wings. So the scarecast for Thursday night, right around sunset, temperatures will go from 81 in the afternoon down into the mid 70s at sunset. So Halloween is looking good, but it will be on the warm side.
Thanks, Chris. And we're about 2 weeks out from a major U.S. presidential election, and early voting is now underway on both sides of the river. Long lines at the polls show just how seriously people are taking this, as we'll have a new president next year. In Aiken County, this election is especially notable since former director of the Board of Elections, Cynthia Holland, was charged with embezzlement over the summer. Holland served as the county's election director for 12 years before retiring earlier this year. Now she's accused of stealing at least $62,000 while in a position of power. And so Aiken County's new director did not have a lot of time to get adjusted. Your Cindy Hood was at the Aiken County government building.
Aiken County's new elections director only had about a month roughly to prepare for early voting, and she says she's familiar with running elections. She served as the elections director for Saluda County before coming over here to Aiken County, but Data Burdick tells me that her goal of ensuring every vote counts has remained the same.
Well, I thought it was early. It looks like I'm a little late.
The long lines are not keeping folks from exercising their right to vote.
It's a beautiful day. Come on out.
Don't turn around. Make your voice heard. Vote.
Oh, it is worth it. Every vote counts.
In Aiken County, there's a new face in charge of elections.
We have a historic election in the middle of a historic hurricane, in the middle of their fourth leadership change since May of this year.
Burden came into this role with only about a month to prepare.
But if you walk in my office, you get nothing but professionalism. You would never know that this team has been through anything like that.
She says she's focused on moving forward and making sure every vote counts.
You know, anytime you have especially a leadership change, it's hard. It's hard on the staff. It's hard on the new director. This team has been so easy to work with, and some of them have been here for many years. They know the people in the community, and that just helps everything.
She says her team has worked day in and day out to prepare.
We're just trying to make sure that we have an open door policy in this office, that people know they can come and talk to us if they have questions about elections, or if they, even if they have a complaint about an election, that they can come and talk to us, and the staff's been really great about helping me do that.
If you didn't get a chance to come out and vote today, early voting continues all this week, and on Saturday we've got times and locations for you posted on our website, wrdw.com.
Thanks, Cindy. And also in Aiken County, voters will see a question on the ballot, say yes or no to a capital project sales tax. The tax helps pay for big improvement projects in the county. Your Julius Evans has more.
Aiken County leaders are looking to keep investing in vital infrastructure throughout the county.
Virtually every ambulance, every fire truck, every police car you see is funded from capital project sales tax.
This 1% sales tax was originally passed in the year 2000 and received multiple renewals. County officials say it's responsible for paying for the county's needs, public resources, and keeping Aiken County residents' property taxes low.
If we did not have the capital project sales tax, we would need to raise an additional $18 million of revenue a year to cover the loss to our capital program.
Aiken County's tax assessor's office projects without the sales tax, millage rates would increase from 70.3 mils to 115.
What that means to someone that lives in the city of Aiken like I do If you had a $400,000 house, today you're paying about half the property taxes that you would have been paying had those trends continued.
Leaders say the tax would accumulate more than $260 million to fund 160 projects and be more cost effective than collecting everything through property taxes.
If we don't have a capital project sales tax, we're incurring debt, interest payments, and Aiken County taxpayers, not visitors, are footing 100% of the bill.
A decision less than 2 weeks away for you to decide.
And this is a different tax question on the ballot. There's also a 1% question for Aiken County Public School District's capital projects. If the county's tax is passed, it will continue for 7 years and will start after the previous project sales tax expires in 2026. And the director of FEMA came to Augusta this week to give an update on the Hurricane Helene response. She surveyed the damages from the storm and met with survivors. Dean Criswell is urging anyone who hasn't registered for assistance to do so. The hub is currently housing the agency's Disaster Recovery Center. FEMA says there are 2 disaster survivor assistant teams in the city wearing official clothes and IDs.
If you have not registered and you see one of them, they can help you register. Or if you have registered and you have a question about your case, they can help you figure out what paperwork you might still need to submit in order to continue processing whatever resources you'll be eligible for.
She says representatives started their job before the storm made landfall, and about 800 federal personnel are in the region to help. One goal and the other local leaders share is not just to rebuild this community, but to make the infrastructure more resilient. And families are still struggling to make ends meet after Helene. Food, water, cleaning supplies, those are just some of the things people need. More organizations are stepping up to address that need. Augusta just opened a community donation center. It has diapers, formula, food, and more. Volunteers say they were all donated. The pastor of Adventist Community Services says they came all the way from Oregon to help.
A lady just approached us today. We're closed to the public today, but she needs to do some cleanup. Water came in, the house is a mess, it stinks, it's moldy, it's not safe. So I quickly gathered some cleaning supplies and just gave it to her because she is in need.
He says more than 300 families were served at their last distribution.
Well, it was a hot one out there on Saturday. Take a look at these numbers. The high yesterday, 88 degrees, the low 51. The record yesterday, 90. So it didn't quite hit a record, but today will be a whole lot cooler. We'll take a look at that forecast and look ahead to Halloween coming up.
These hands are
But nothing in the way of rain. Plenty of sunshine for Halloween. Looks like a warm day with a high near 81.
Thanks, Chris. And you don't have to watch the news very often to realize fentanyl is a killer. Almost every family has a connection to a fentanyl overdose in one way or another. As Hallie Turner reports, researchers here in Augusta are looking to change that.
Jordan Lewis is doing what he loves, working as a peer support specialist at the Aiken Center.
I love my job. It has a lot of meaning and purpose, and I get to help people change their lives.
And he's living a life far from the one he used to live, addicted to drugs.
I needed more of it to, cope with how bad my life was, which made it bad, and then it was a never-ending cycle.
He's been sober now for 5 years, dedicating his life to helping others find freedom too. Jordan says as time goes on, the drugs he's seeing are even more deadly.
I think this is the most dangerous time in America to just experiment with drugs. And fentanyl is stronger, it's more addictive, and it's much harder to get off of than anything we've seen, even heroin.
Dr. Babik Baban knows it's true. He's a researcher at AU Wellstar.
We have between 200 to 300 people per day that they are dying from fentanyl overdose or abuse of fentanyl.
Dr. Baban and his team have come up with a new treatment for fentanyl users through CBD therapy.
That's what CBD has been shown to be effective. CBD also has been shown to be very effective at anxiolytic drug, so it reduces anxiety. Anxiety is the main factor to cause relapse of addiction.
Jordan knows the new research will save lives.
The landscape of the drug community has changed dramatically. Fentanyl is on the scene. Fentanyl is pretty much in a lot of different drugs, especially the harder drugs.
And these researchers know it's a race against time. In Augusta, Hallie Turner on your side.
The numbers across the two-state area show just how bad the fentanyl problem is. Just to give you an idea, starting in 2019, fentanyl overdose deaths in Georgia increased by 308% over 3 years. The Department of Health says more than 1,600 lives were lost in 1 year alone. And in South Carolina, the latest numbers show deaths from fentanyl overdoses rose by 9% in a year. And the 14-year-old charged in connection to the deadly Appalachia High School shooting is pleading not guilty. Court documents show Cole Gray made that plea Tuesday. He and his attorney also waived a formal agreement and demanded a jury trial. Gray and his father are facing several charges from the shooting that killed 4 people at the high school. They're expected to be tried separately. The next court date is scheduled for November 21st. And Georgia election officials confirming
with perspective.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at this very good boy, the law enforcement hero dog of the year for 2024. Bo is with the Gastonia Police Department in North Carolina, and he just won the prestigious national award after a vote by the public. He's a 17-month-old bloodhound who joined the Gastonia Police Department last April. Despite his young age, Bo has already shown exceptional bravery and dedication, including tracking down robbery suspects and tracking one missing child for more than 7 miles, leading to a safe rescue. And in May of this year, Bo found a 7-year-old child who had been taken at knife point. A formal ceremony will be held in January to award Bo of this achievement and thank him for his service. And a fun fact, he is also terrified of Halloween decorations, says his handler, which is, I think, kind of ironic considering all the other stuff that he's been able to do and save for us. But I guess, can't complain about it. I'd rather him be able to save everybody else and be scared of that decor.
Glad to hear he didn't trip over his tongue.
Right, I know, it's so long. It's such a cute dog.
What a cute, cuddly dog there, but I have a feeling he can be ferocious when he wants to as well. Let's take a look at our temperatures at sunset in the mid-70s.
Thanks, Chris. And it's a challenging time to find a reputable, available contractor with the backlog of service requests after the hurricane. But as senior investigative reporter Liz Owen explains, there's a new federal rule making researching for contracting online a lot easier.
Well, like a lot of you, I turned to Google reviews when I was looking for a roofer after the hurricane hit. The vast majority of us rely on reviews when deciding on a service or product. Even though studies show about 30% of them are fake. The Federal Trade Commission says that's a big problem. Here's what they wrote just a couple months ago. Fake reviews and testimonials have polluted the marketplace. They harm many consumers, relying on them to pick products and providers, subverting people's ability to make informed decisions. They also hurt competitors who work hard to comply with the law. So starting this week, it is now illegal for companies to post false consumer reviews, consumer testimonials, and celebrity testimonials. The new rule from the FTC also bans companies from paying someone to post positive or even negative reviews, as well as using employees and managers to post reviews or even bully consumers into removing negative reviews. Now, all the way up until now, the FTC really didn't have a way to hold companies responsible for fake reviews. Now they do. One single violation can result in up to a $51,000 fine.
Local animal shelters are still dealing with overcrowding. In the weeks since Hurricane Helene hit our area, the situation has gotten worse. Between owner surrenders, lost pets, and fewer adoptions, our shelters are at capacity. We found the Aiken County and Augusta animal shelters are working to save as many animals as they can. In Aiken, kittens are $10 and they're already microchipped and vaccinated. Puppies and dogs are $35. Across the river, the Augusta shelter wants to curb the number of euthanasia rates. Still, they have a mobile adoption van up and running and are still doing Save a Pet Mondays. If you need help with pet supplies, well, they've got you covered there as well.
People who are in need, who are not able to afford food for their pets, are able to come in here. We have dog food and we have cat food.
Volunteers from both shelters emphasize they are in need of adoptions right now. And on Monday, we told you how the Family YMCA of Greater Augusta is working to get hundreds of pallets of water to North Carolina schools. Well, a couple of companies have already stepped up to help. One being Camo, who loaded up one of their tractor trailers Thursday morning. This water is headed to the Family Y in Asheville, where it'll be distributed to 20 local schools who need drinkable water as they head back to the classroom.
It's really a humbling moment at a time like this when so many people have been through so much in this region and all the way to the Asheville area, to even know that we can be a part of this.
You know, the Y is all about serving their communities. And for us, this means near and far. So the Y has, since its inception, has always said, what is the need and how can we do that for our community?
After the delivery, there are more than 100 pallets of water left, so the Family Y is still looking for more trucks and drivers. You can help out by reaching out to the YMCA. We have their info on our website under the Finding Solutions tab. And students helping students. That's what's taking place at Helms College. They're taking their love for cooking and giving it right back to their own community after so many people were hit hard by the hurricane. Here's Anna Halliburton went right to the kitchen where they found solutions in making sure kids have a good meal to eat.
Cooking is a passion for these students at Helms College, and this meal right here is special. More than 200 breakfast sandwiches are going to kids at Heritage Academy.
It feels really good to be able to provide this kind of service for people in the community because I too was affected by the hurricane, and we just want everybody to know that Helms College is here for you.
Once students at Heritage made it back to the classroom, Executive Director Tana Watson made it their mission to make sure parents didn't have to worry about packing meals when so many people are dealing with food insecurity after the hurricane.
We put a plea on Facebook and just asked people to donate, and so it would cost $50 to sponsor a child for 2 meals for 10 days. And the response was beautiful. We got people from all over the country who wanted to be a part of this initiative.
She says the plea grew to other organizations and restaurants wanting to help out, including Helms College, who is providing breakfast for 2 days.
We're so excited that the students at Helms College have found a way to give back and show their talents to really fill the bellies of little learners, because once students start their day with a great breakfast, they're ready to read and write and become mathematicians and explore new ideas.
Chef Jana Stewart says this all really goes beyond just cooking.
It means a lot to us. You know, not only are we able to help the community, but we're able to bring the students in and show them what it's like to help a community in this time of need, and how food can be such a powerful thing.
As for the students who get to enjoy all of the food, Watson says they're thankful for it.
It's just been really special to see how neighbors are helping neighbors, and I hope that they feel a deeper connection to this part of Augusta that maybe they're not from, but they've found a way to give back in such a beautiful way.
On your sideline.
It's been an unbelievable season for ARC's varsity volleyball.
A very warm Saturday out there. I'm sure you noticed that. The high temperature 88, the record high yesterday 90 degrees. That was set back in 2014. That record will live another year, but we have cooler weather on the way for your Sunday. We'll talk about how long it sticks around and the full forecast coming up.
Motorcycle crashes almost always result in serious injuries because there's nothing between the biker and another car, truck, or the pavement. The injuries can be debilitating and permanent. Cost and recovery time, overwhelming. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, you need serious help, and you need it now. Injured? Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy. 706-724-7224. 706-724-7224.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. It means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
Every fall, we say hello to a change in routine and just a little bit of chaos.
Everybody have everything?
This is no more evident than in your driveway. It's center stage for handoffs, trunk swaps, and countless last-second pivots. We're here for what's ahead, helping you shift seasons and styles, no matter how long it takes to get on your way. Because this fall, we've got a lot to look forward to. Your fall favorites are here. Struggling with moderate to severe Crohn's.
Cloudy and mild, low temperatures area-wide right there in the mid-50s. For the week ahead, we're going to have some clouds around for a few days, then eventually some warm weather by Wednesday and into Halloween. Looks like your trick-or-treat forecast will call for 81 in the afternoon, dropping into the 70s by Thursday evening.
Thanks, Chris. And state leaders say a new law will keep more South Carolinians safe, and it starts with cracking down on what happens and what's snuck behind prison walls. State House reporter Mary Green has the details.
In the past, if South Carolina inmates were caught with a cell phone, they'd be disciplined with consequences like losing their visitation or canteen privileges. Now, it's a crime and could result in more prison time.
The most dangerous weapon in an inmate's hands in South Carolina is a cell phone. Past decade, we've confiscated almost 35,000 phones.
Officials say inmates' contraband cell phones have led to crimes being facilitated behind bars, like drug trafficking, hits being put out on prison guards, and even the deadliest prison riot in state history. Governor Henry McMaster held a ceremony to mark the change in law Tuesday at the Columbia complex where multiple state prisons are housed. Corrections Director Brian Sterling says a first-in-the-nation pilot program that allows them to identify and disable illegal phones in a matter of days has been successful in its first prison. It'll soon expand to several more prisons thanks to money from the state legislature.
Having these cell phones in prisons allows a prisoner to conduct his business almost in a private office without any interference, day and night, whenever he wants, or she. And this will eliminate that.
Director Sterling says the ultimate fix is this issue is being able to jam cell phone signals behind prison walls. But the federal government has refused to take it into consideration, despite pleas from years from Sterling and other prison officials across the country. And the three men convicted of killing Ahmaud Arbery in 2020 are asking for a new trial. Attorneys for Arbery's killers, Greg McMichael, his son Travis, and their former neighbor William Bryan say a tainted jury and ineffective counsel are the reason for the request. Investigators say the McMichaels chased Arbery in a pickup truck after they saw him run past their house, then shot and killed him.
Don't send this town back no 1800. It ain't gonna work. I'm sick and tired of seeing my baby dead, gone, because he was a black man, dead in the grave. These 3 months are still living, and still think they're supposed to have some rights when they kill somebody wrongfully?
Former Brunswick District Attorney Jackie Johnson is facing her own trial, accused of interfering with the investigation. That case has been stalled for more than 3 years. And new robots are now roaming around the halls of the Cobb County Jail.
Make sure you pet my good side.
And $25,000 in donations is going to 2 local charities thanks to Rotary clubs. More than $16,000 went to Columbia County Cares, a nonprofit that brings food, health, and comfort items to more than 5,000 families each year. And nearly $9,000 went to McDuffie Manna, which is a faith-based group that provides temporary and emergency aid for people in McDuffie, Wilkes, and Warren counties. The executive director of Columbia Cares tells us this money is greatly appreciated.
Mainly right now we are in very short supply because our client base is increasing every month. We're in short supply of food and baby food items, diapers. We give health and comfort items to our folks, so we have to purchase that each week.
This money will also go towards upcoming food giveaways for Thanksgiving and repairs to equipment.
It was a hot one out there on Saturday. Here's a look at high temperatures around the CSRA. The coolest weather was in Washington. Your high yesterday, not very cool at all at 85. The hottest weather in Millen, you hit 90 degrees on the 26th day of October. But big changes are on the way for today, the 27th, and last Sunday of October. We'll take a look at the cooler forecast coming up.
The greatest meal deal for your buck? Hardee's Original Bag. Just $5.99. Loaded with your choice of 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink. All for just $5.99. Hardee's. Goodness in the making.
Or visit us on our website at parkerpets.com. Remember, that's David M. Parker Exterminating, your hometown pest control company.
Every morning in hardworking America, Hardee's biscuit makers rise to bake our original made-from-scratch biscuits. And now, mix and match 2 handcrafted breakfast biscuits, just $5. Find the best deals on the Hardee's app.
Time now 6:55. Radar Network is not showing any rain across the CSRA. Oh, there are a couple of sprinkles back into the 80s starting on Wednesday. It looks like that warm-up will last into next weekend. We'll be right back with more news and weather.
The CSRA is where we were born, where we live, where we work, where we're raising our families. It's our home. That's why the people of the CSRA count on us after an accident, because they know about our skill in the courtroom, how we treat clients like family, how we love this community, and the people who proudly call it home. We're just a call or click away. Injured? When you need me, call me. I'm your Augusta guy. 706-724-7224.